And welcome to the News Underground. My name is Abandoned Nihilism. Today we're going to do a special report on weather, the extreme weather events that we've been seeing, of course, right now happening in Florida as we speak, but also the extreme weather event that has happened and is still happening in Pakistan. Real quick, we're going to get into just some of these live streams I have going here. We're going to take a look at these and just get a quick update on the situation at this very moment. It is currently PST, it is 7:45. Out in Florida, it is 10:30. So let's just have a little listen here and see what these guys have to say. Also, big props to DJ Sacred. I just rap, get money, and fuck hoes. Great track. We all love it here at the News Underground. We love that underground sound. That's how we do it here. But yeah, let's get a little update from Tom over here at News 6 in Orlando, Florida.
Important than video. We really appreciate you calling in. That was Maris Badcock calling in from Lakeland over in Polk County, where the wind aloft is pretty bad and the eye of the storm is just to the south of her, getting ready to cross over in that corner just outside of Sebring over here, outside of Yeehaw Junction. It's in this zone.
Yeehaw Junction?
Hours, it's moving to the north.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't make fun.
8 miles per hour. Maximum sustained wind is only 100 miles per hour. Here's the look at Daytona Beach.
Only
we started this earlier before that tornado warning fired. 74 degrees right now in Daytona Beach. And look at that. The wind is back up. Last time we checked in about 20 or 30 minutes ago, our wind speed was only 30, 31. Now the sustained wind is up to 46 miles per hour. So there you go. Full tropical storm force wind in Daytona Beach. What about Orlando? Well, you got to remember, we're not as close to those big squally storms that are going on coming in from the coast. Wind in Orlando from the north-northeast at 36. Here's one more look at live weather radar. Flooding problems down south. Maris was over here in Lakeland. The high wind there rocking her. And more of these scattered showers are going to continue to come on in. Let's go put on the Melbourne site for radar, give you an idea of what's happening there. You see this stuff pinwheeling in. All of these rotations coming in and encountering the land. There could very well be any number of warnings issued as we go into the nighttime hours.
Wow.
Standing by now with more is meteorologist Candace Campos. Hey, Candace.
I love how she brought out her hand crank radio.
Hey,
isn't that great?
Yeah, if you're in Florida, please be safe. There is someone in the chat with some family in Florida. Thankfully, they're going to be okay. They're in a good spot. If you're out in Florida, of course, on YouTube, you're going to be seeing this a little late. So hopefully everyone made it out safe on your end.
Our Florida service
over there in YouTube land.
Crews ready to get to work as quickly and safely as possible. The challenge is when is it going to be safe? When will those winds drop below anywhere between 35 and 45 miles an hour is kind of the threshold for some of these power crews. But boy,
so it looks like the worst is over. Thankfully, it looks like things are moving on. Unfortunately, and of course, hopefully Florida does get back on track, and hopefully Florida gets rid of the other malignant, disaster that's affecting its state and gets rid of Ron DeSantis. But of course, I don't have any hope in that because I'm a little bit of a cynic, you would say, when it comes to American politics there. But anyway, there you go. That's some live updates right there. About the the Florida hurricane. Thankfully, unlike Pakistan, Florida has enough infrastructure to keep most people safe. Hopefully no one died. We'll be getting more information about the body count soon. But nothing confirmed at the moment from what I've heard. They haven't announced any deaths or anything. But we're this is the first world, so we can handle a storm like this. In places like Pakistan, not so much. So let's have a look here from CNN. And unfortunately, of course, who is it affecting? It's affecting the poorest, the weakest, the slowest, the smallest. And right off the bat, we got a crisis with children happening here in Pakistan because of this. And it's like, look, I agree with intervention in Ukraine. I don't agree with any of the other interventions, quite frankly, from the United States. But Ukraine is a just and moral conflict against a clearly illegal invasion. It's a war crime that Russia is committing. We can't throw these people a bone. We're broke. We're broke. You know what I mean? And it's like if we could just do a little bit of if we could just throw them a bone, I'm sure we're throwing them a little bone, but you know what I mean? And America is so powerful and America is so great. It feels like, that, we could do a little bit more. Someone in the chat, of course, just said that Florida is well prepared for hurricanes. Davey in the chat said that. And yeah, that's great. Unfortunately, that's not the case with Pakistan. Now, of course, there are the people that say, well, if Pakistan wants to be better prepared for floods, maybe they should get a better government that, doesn't squander away their taxpayer dollars and all this. And it's like, yes, absolutely. No doubt. So where's the United States on that spreading democracy stuff? You know what I mean? How come we can't drop some pamphlets once in a while? Is that just completely beyond the pale? Is that just completely outrageous for America to drop some pamphlets, pro-democracy pamphlets with some food? Little sandwiches or something tied to it. Like, hey, Uncle Sam wants you to, try democracy. Here's how you form a democracy. Here's how you create a constitution. You know what I mean? Like actually building democracies. I don't know. Like we don't have to do it at the, barrel of a gun. Can't we just try to encourage it? No, I'm crazy talking. It's crazy talking. Anyway, children in Pakistan are being victimized here. Let's take a look.
Provide Pakistan
Try not to look
$10
away.
million of aid for food security in the wake of the catastrophic flooding there. Lincoln says the supplies will help farmers recover with such items as seeds and fertilizer. Now, the extreme
So there you
flooding
go.
has claimed
So the U.S. is kicking in, right? And that's great to see. And I don't mean to be greedy. At the same time, it does feel like we could be doing more. We're so powerful, and like, wouldn't that just be a show of how awesome we are? That we just wave our red, white, and blue dick and just make, an entire country's life better? And they're like, fuck, America's the shit. And then they like, they want to join the union. And you know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with these ideas? Like, why is the only thing America is good at is fucking people up? That's the thing we're the best at. How come we can't be the best at, airdropping sandwiches on people? I guess I'm a dreamer.
more than 6 Indian lives. Our report now from Anna Korn.
Anna Korn?
In the scorching heat, a couple carry their listless child towards a packed wooden boat, ferrying sick villagers through the floodwaters.
Oh, it's terrible.
The mother grabs her daughter and finds a place to sit. The 8-year-old is burning up.
The U.S. does not provide
She's
enough
got a
food.
high-grade fever and has become unconscious, explains her mother.
Not enough. We do
Let's
provide
go,
a lot,
let's
though.
go, yells a villager. The mother then wets her daughter's brow with the very same water that has made her so sick. Pakistan's months-long catastrophic floods that inundated 1/3 of the country, affecting 33 million people, are still causing unspeakable suffering. The monsoonal rains may be over, but the volume of stagnant water is now causing a health crisis, especially in Sindh, one of the worst-hit provinces in the country's southeast, where cases of cholera, dengue and dehydration have surged.
I have seen families and children consume the very flood water that they are surrounded by. And that is because they don't have access to any other water source.
As they reach the shore, it's a race against time. The nearest hospital is hours away by rickshaw, and her daughter's condition is worsening.
Oh, my God.
These young mothers have found medical care, although their newborns barely have the energy to cry. They've come to the Nawab Shah Mother and Child Hospital, where the critically ill are taken to the resuscitation ward.
We have the power.
A baby's chest slowly rises and falls as oxygen, pumped through a tube, helps this infant
I'm
to
okay
breathe.
with my taxpayer dollars
Lying beside it,
going to help
the
these
body
people.
of another baby that didn't make it. For the doctors here, this is agonizing work. Up to a dozen children are dying each day from flood-related illness,
God.
which is unheard of in this small hospital. This girl has cholera, says Dr. Nazia. Their bodies go into shock. We try to rehydrate them with fluid they've lost. One of the 4 children sharing this bed appears to be going downhill rapidly. Heart monitors are placed on the chest of 5-year-old Ikra, who is severely stunted. Her heart is slowly beating, but her eyes glaze over. Minutes later, she dies. A nurse prepares her tiny body for an Islamic burial as her sister and grandmother weep outside. Of the more than 1,500 people who died since June from Pakistan's climate change-induced catastrophe, more than 1/3 have been children. Millions upon millions remain homeless, having lost homes, crops and livestock. Rani is one of them. She wonders if the waters will also take her youngest, 3-year-old Abbas, who is suffering from malaria. Death is a better option for us, she says. We accept it. One should not have to live like this. Anna Corin, CNN, Hong Kong.
Well, there you go, folks.
The recent
How great are we? We could wave our red, white, and blue magic wand. You know, look what we did for Ukraine. You know, we're so powerful. We're so great. We're so amazing. We're number fucking one. But we just can't figure out, really? You know? How much would helping these people cost? A couple $100 million? What, $1 billion? What's that? What's $1 billion to America? A missile? A plane? I'm so sick of people who have power, like the Queen, like Joe Biden, and they don't use it for good. You know, maybe they're not using it for evil. Yeah, congratulations. But where the fuck are you? How could you have power and see something like that and go, but man? And look, it's the whole thing started off with Anthony Blinken talking about I gave money and blah blah blah. You know, we're giving food and we're doing this and that, while we're letting Afghanistan starve. Well, there's like 1 million fucking kids in Afghanistan that are gonna fucking starve to death. Oh, we don't want to give the Taliban money. Why? Why? They're the legitimate government of Afghanistan, like it or not. You lost the war, you stupid sons of bitches. Give them the fucking money. You fucking morons. Before more people starve to death. Starve to death. You ever starved? You ever starved? So let's just get a quick recap of Florida for YouTube. Someone in the comment section pointed out that it's possible that, you know, they could be killed if they help people. Rickety Rocket. Welcome back, Rickety Rocket and Davey, by the way, in the stream as we're doing the YouTube video. Don't forget we do... hey, Davey, the last track was trash. How's this track? Hold up. What you think of this track? It's my new obsession. Toku, Moving Too Fast, and of course this is the brilliant Madhouse animated movie. What is it? Redline. You want to see an amazing OVA? Check out Redline. It's amazing. And there's a new one. There's a new Redline coming out. Thank you, Rickety Rocket. Rickety Rocket said it's tight. So let's get a quick recap of Florida here. I needed a little music help my soul right now. I mean, whatever I call this, whatever this is in me, my empathy. I can't see starving kids and not, you know, and not have that hit me. Fucking kid died right there. You know, mighty America, letting kids die. We have so much power, god damn it. Why don't we use it? All right. Give this a pause. Let's see. Wasn't she on Entertainment Tonight? I feel like I recognize her from Entertainment Tonight.
As the experts feared, Hurricane Ian has made landfall in Florida.
Inside Edition. That's where I recognize her from. Oh, this is Inside Edition. Okay. Is her dress no clipping? I think the textures on her dress are failing to load. Poor thing.
And the experts say if you had plans to leave and haven't, stay where you are. The storm has intensified to a near Category 5 status, wreaking havoc on everything in its path.
It's hell on earth as Hurricane Ian slams into Florida. 155 miles per hour winds, 18-foot waves, epic destruction.
Take a look at the cars now. They're all bunched into each other over there.
The wind continues to ramp up, but we're gonna get.
They love this. They love this. I swear to God. I swear to God, they get excited about doing this. What? And it's nonsense. It's been nonsensical every single time they've done it since the very first time. What does it tell us? What does it tell us? What does it tell us? I guess it's a visual representation of how fast the winds are, right? It's dangerous. I guess that's what it's telling us. Maybe there is a reason to it. Maybe I'm just a curmudgeon. They just love doing it. Look, like it's 2 in a row. They got different ones
They're all
doing
bunched into each other over there.
The wind continues to ramp up, but we're gonna get smashed here. There are down trees literally everywhere, all over this area. This is what Ian looks like from space.
Whoa, dude. Whoa, what a shot. Holy shit. We can get shots like this now?
Swirling monster. Those flashes, lightning.
I can't hear anything and I can't see anything.
Yeah, so then what the fuck are you doing out there, jackass? Get the fuck inside so you can give us some actual information, you fucking moron. And then CNN with its fucking CG bullshit, or CBS. They did this last time with the last fucking flood. I don't know. This actually does have some utility, though, because it's crazy, right? Because it gives you the perspective of like how high the waters are actually coming up. And okay, all right. This one is pretty cool, but man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm stuck between making fun of how ridiculous it is and admiring the technology and trying to figure out, okay, this can be useful as a visual aid.
The water comes up to 3 feet.
Check out the Weather Channel's gripping 3D simulation of what a 9-foot storm surge looks like.
Do you know what I mean?
9 feet. That can completely submerge some buildings, homes, businesses. This, in many cases, is not survivable.
Look at the wind howling through here.
Their reporters were in the thick of it, wearing baseball helmets for protection against projectiles.
I just got knocked on my butt. You can hardly see anything out here.
Jim Cantori had some close calls. First, he almost got struck by lightning. Then he got hit with a tree branch.
There are cars floating.
Tony and Emily Massey are riding out the storm in their high-rise in Naples. They lost power as the city flooded.
This is where the pool was.
The pool is underwater. The pool's gone.
Much of Florida is hunkered down today. The state's famous amusement parks, Disney, Universal, Legoland, and SeaWorld all closed.
As
the state
Legoland. No! Why don't they just build boats out of Lego?
Absolutely hammered.
There you go. That's Inside Edition with an update on Florida for you, YouTube. Let's get a little update here from good old Al Jazeera. Oh my God.
I'm Ahmed Shabuddin.
Oh my God, honey. What is up? What is up? Oh, man, I want to jump his praise Allah.
Welcome to the stream. Today we look into 2 places still reeling from catastrophic disasters linked to climate change. Recovery efforts in Pakistan are continuing after the worst flooding in decades displaced more than 33 million people and submerged 1/3 of the country. And in Puerto Rico, hundreds of thousands of people remain without power 10 days after Hurricane Fiona made landfall. We start in Pakistan, though, where challenges continue
such
to
a good
mount
point.
and civilians are paying the heaviest price.
That's such a
Here's
good point.
Abdullah
Davey in the chat pointed out that that a leather coat in the office shows an extreme amount of confidence.
The role of the government to really scale up is impressive. The gravity of these situations before the floods was already such that the worst indicators of malnutrition, access to health, access to education was already in the worst of the country. The diseases that now we're facing are diarrhea, malaria, cholera, and skin diseases that are actually quite invasive. About 2.5 million people have no access to drinking water.
That's terrible.
400,000 children are now facing severe acute malnutrition. We anticipate about 6 million children are out of school as a result of the floods. All of this now requires attention.
I mean, are we ever going to talk about the failure of the Pakistani government to, prepare for these things that keep happening, right? Eventually I would like to see that conversation happen, because I'm obviously there's a lot of shit happening, and there's a lot of bad shit influence from the West, but at the end of the day, it's like, how much corruption is there in Pakistan, and where could that money have actually gone to help prevent, some of the worst of this, building hospitals closer to people, setting up infrastructure and having plans to get people out of remote areas when these things hit. Stuff like that, have they actually done that? Because it just feels like these things just keep happening in these countries, and these leaders of these countries just, are just, super corrupt, stealing money, and then these disasters happen, and they're like, gimme. And it's like, well, where the hell are you at? And it's like, I get it, though. There is, it's complicated. It's not as simple as, just corruption or anything. But at the same time, I'm curious how much of that corrupted money could actually go towards disaster planning, and preventing stuff like this.
Nearly 1,600 people have died so far, and concerns about waterborne diseases, as you just heard, food security, and the country's ongoing financial crisis is rising. With us to discuss this, Neha Mankani, founder of Mama Baby Fund, which provides rapid emergency response to women and their families. She joins us from Karachi, Pakistan. And Basav Sen, the Climate Justice Project Director at the Institute for Policy Studies in Washington, D.C. And of course, remember, you could always join us on YouTube with your thoughts and questions. Now, I want to start...
No, they show the chat. These guys have balls. They have the balls to show the YouTube chat? Oh, honey. This is madness.
With the recovery efforts, the scale of this crisis, this disaster, what can you tell us is most needed at this given moment?
So there's a lot of things right now. I wouldn't even say that we're at recovery yet. I think we're just still waiting for the water to recede before people can actually start even thinking about going home. Right now, as mentioned, the health issues are really at their, maybe not even at their peak, they're getting to their peak. So there's a lot of need for health interventions, there's a lot of need for medication, there's a lot of need for food interventions as well. People have lost a lot of, as was mentioned, people have lost a lot of their crops, and whatever limited resources they have, that's gone down significantly more. So there's a need for shelter, there's a need for food, there's a need for health interventions, and there's just a need for kind of a vision on how we're going to move forward with recovery when we're actually able to do it.
Of course, and you outlined so many needs, and I know that they're competing needs, and I'm wondering, when we know that roads, bridges have, completely been washed away, as well as railway lines, that entire villages, were submerged, so much farmland destroyed. You think about the agriculture, the sector, economically, it's what, 23% of the GDP of Pakistan. With that in mind, I mean, where do we focus? Is there going to be a lasting recovery that's actually feasible? Is the government able to handle this in your mind?
Right now, I would say that we don't even know how it's going to be done. And I think,
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. It's like there's never a plan. It's always like Band-Aid solutions coming from the West. And then it's just right back to business as usual. Building straw huts, and with no planning and, it just, just okay, well, we'll just wait till the next disaster, and a bunch of people will be tens of millions of people will be displaced. I think it said 33 or 38 million people displaced in Pakistan because of this. Where's the plan?
We've lost more than 2 million acres of crops. The entire cotton crop, not the entire cotton crop, but like more than 75% of our cotton crop has been completely destroyed. The next planting that will happen is wheat, which will be around in 2-3 months. And by the time wheat season comes around, I don't think that the land will be ready for it. So I'm not really sure what we can even expect in terms of recovery, but I know that for recovery to happen, there will be a need for a lot of inputs, not just from the government, but from external players as well.
We've heard, Basav, that the government's doing its best. We saw the government praised there by the UN.
Oh, yeah,
I'm wondering, though, when you look at the sort of macro big picture,
those are all apples. Oh, those are onions? No, those are apples. Oh, wow. Wow, just millions of apples. Oh, that's such a bummer.
Since the record flooding began, at least 81 of the country's 160 districts have been categorized as calamity hit. When we think of rebuilding, what's on the forefront of your mind? Is it feasible, and is it possible to really hone in efforts in one sector, or is the whole situation just too unmanageable?
I would not call any situation, however drastic it is, unmanageable if, number one, there is the collective social and political will to do it, and number two, there are the resources to do it. And in the case of Pakistan, and in the case of actually many countries across the global south, that second question, the resources question, is intimately tied to our present global political and economic order. And when I say present, I mean honestly for the last several hundred years, because in many fundamental ways, the political economy of colonialism and the legacies of colonialism haven't changed.
Right.
I mean, why is it that Pakistan is a global south country to begin with? Why do we even have a category called the global south? It's because of the history of imperialism, right? It's because of the theft of resources.
And that can't be ignored, and that's always brought up, right? Hey, we were, victimized by the West, and it's a tale as old as time. It can be repeated across the board. Every country has a different context, right? But look at the history, look at the meddling, right, of the West. Britain and UK, but of course the United States as well. These things cannot be avoided. At the same time, millions of dollars flowing through the Pakistani government. You got the UN saying that they did all that they could. I'm pretty fucking skeptical on that claim. I'm going to be straight with you. 33 million people displaced? That seems like a country that doesn't have a plan for this kind of extreme weather that they're going to be seeing for the next 50 years. If we want to be generous, if we want to be a lowball it, right? We're in this for the long haul. These are not anomalies. It's going to keep getting worse and worse. Okay, eventually it has to reach a plateau. It's not just going to get worse and worse and worse until we have literal like the crazy storms like on Jupiter, which are going like 500 miles an hour winds, and stuff like that. I don't think it's going to get that crazy, but this heavy rains, extremely high winds, incredibly brutal storms that last forever. This is the new norm. Pakistan better be strapping in, and their government better be strapping in. And I bet you if we did a deep dive, we would find corruption up and down. I do not trust the UN saying, "Oh, Pakistan did everything they could." 33 million. How many people are displaced in Florida? temporarily displaced, right? And how many people are permanently displaced? And what's that look like? Oh, it's a difference. It's the West. It's the West. Well, how come, well, then how do we make Pakistan, because this shit isn't going to go away. We either keep band-aiding the situation and keep having to pay for, food and supplies, and we keep, donating disaster relief money, or we start investing in real solutions, long-term solutions. And we encourage these countries to invest in these solutions themselves while also, helping fund and throwing money at them, like we should. Because like I said, we have so much goddamn power and so much money. We can solve this problem in Pakistan. But why would we? Oh, what's the U.S. interest in doing it? Shut the fuck up. I'm so sick of it. Right? We want to run the world, but we don't want to help the world. So it's so fucking stupid. Right? If we just help these places out, they'd be red, white, and blue, man. We'd have 600 fucking McDonald's in Pakistan, right? If we just actually help this country out instead of fucking up their government or ignoring their government and letting their government just do whatever they want, and throwing them a couple bones when they're extremely desperate, but then ignoring them otherwise. You know what I mean? I'm simplifying things to an extreme here, but I'm just saying. We can fix these problems. This is not impossible. It's well within the United States' ability. It really is.
Forces by the British Empire and lots of other,
for the empire,
French, Dutch,
right.
etc.
Right. And I appreciate you bringing up that point because it's very relevant to the conversation we're going to be having about Puerto Rico in just a little bit. Very similar in that sense. But when speaking of the government says it could take 10 years to repair and rebuild the infrastructure. They also outlined that the losses are already over.
There's going to be another major disaster before that 10 years is up. What's the fucking plan?
Over $10 billion, with, of course, an economy that's already been struggling for so many reasons, the pandemic, inflation. I actually want to have a listen to what the leader himself had to say about all of this. Take a listen.
Gee, I wonder if he's going to take any responsibility, guys. I'm sure this is going to be a fucking masterclass in how to be humble.
Minister Sharif.
Early estimates suggest that more than 13,000 kilometers of metal roads have been damaged. Over 370 bridges have been swept away. 1 million homes have been destroyed and another million damaged. More than 1 million farm animals have been killed. 4 million acres of crops have been washed away, stripping the people of their bread basket.
Wow. Yeah, the world really cares, huh? Look at that crowd. Boy, sell out seats, huh? Elbow room only. Elbow room only. Reports say that they could see tumbleweeds rolling by. We gonna listen to this? We gonna believe this farce? That this guy cares? That America cares? That the world cares? Oh, Pakistan's not a military satellite next to Russia, so I guess just go ahead and flush that toilet. Yeah, let's go ahead. I'll throw you a couple food bones, but I'll figure it out yourself. Thanks. Bye. Davey's pointing out in the chat that that's common for these kind of crowd sizes, and that is true. Tune into your average UN council meeting. it's like this, but honestly, are we okay with that? I guess, schedules conflict and everything. I've seen it multiple times from many. It's true, but I don't know. When I see when Zelensky's going to be on the big screen, I see a packed house. When Joe Biden's on the big screen, I see a packed house. Pakistan talking about, record floods. Afghanistan talking about record floods. And just, I'm just going to go ahead and put the chat on because this is just ridiculous trying to repeat things. Chat wins, guys. Chat's coming back. They only show up when it's time for them to make their speech and then they leave. I don't know if I'm okay with that. I don't know if I'm okay with that, Davey. And like I said, it's a packed house when it's something that they give a shit about. Okay, I'd like to point that out. A packed house, for Iraq. It was a packed house for 9/11, right? And then we just okay, we'll watch the video. When I go, I'll watch the video instead of showing up to the meeting, and then I don't watch the video. It means I was actually never interested in attending the meeting. It's a little different for large countries, but we can't put someone in the seat. We can't put a butt in the seat. That's so fucking hard. Can't put a butt in the seat. Play some Angry Birds. Pretend like you give a shit. You don't even pretend to give a shit. I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care about Pakistan. I don't fucking care about Pakistan. I don't care about Palestine. I don't care about Syria. Right? Oh, we give a big shit about Ukraine, and rightfully so. Right? But we all know why. It's not because, the Western allies are just all shucks. Ukraine's the greatest. Right? It's so transparent, right? Like they pretend to be altruistic and like, oh, we're doing this for the common good. It's like, shut the fuck up. Common good, my dick. This is about nationalism. This is about empire. This is about growing your borders and conquering the fucking planet. Who fucking cares? Can we work together or what? No, we can't. We can't even bother to put a butt in the seat.
And damage of an unimaginable scale.
Neha, what do you make of those comments, those numbers? I mean, we know that both Pakistan and the United Nations have blamed climate change for the extreme weather and resulting devastation. So in your mind, who's responsible and how can Pakistan rebuild?
So I would say that, yes, it's absolutely climate change. This is not something normal. These super floods are not something that we would ever have even expected to see in our lifetimes. So it's definitely climate change that's made this happen. But I would say that it's not just Pakistan. I mean, we all know Pakistan's contribution to the carbon emissions is less than 1%, but they are one of the 10 most affected countries in the world. And I think we should really start having more conversations about...
A lot of people on the right and a lot of people on the neoliberal left would like to ignore what she just said, right? Oh, we're not guilty. We're not guilty. We did nothing wrong. This is like a global CRT. I'm not racist. We didn't do anything to Pakistan. Look at the history. Look at the history, you fucking mooks. Look at the history. Okay? We owe this country. We do.
The global north, about how the global north can work with us to for climate reparation, and kind of, we should see who's paying the price and where it comes from and what can be done for us.
And, these questions, of course, on the minds of so many people. And
I think climate reparation needs to be debated more. I think it needs to be fleshed out more. I don't think it's something that can just be, because we do need to avoid guilt by association. But the damage to the climate can be quantified and sources can be identified. This isn't completely nebulous. This isn't completely ethereal. We can point to, okay, yep, China dumped X amount of tons of carbon into the atmosphere this year, and United States dumped this amount of carbon into the atmosphere this year, and we can track these things. They can be quantified. So I do think we can come up with some kind of climate regime where we're helping these countries out because of our history, of our industrial revolutions. Creating this crisis in the first place. It's a very real thing. We can't deny science just because all of a sudden now it's going to hit our pocketbook. Oh, well, it's more convenient to deny science, then we don't have to pay. That's not good enough. We're talking about tens of millions of people dying here. Let's get serious. Let's get serious about it. And look, don't think that this shit's not going to hit the first world. Do you think climate change is not going to affect the United States? As we saw in Florida, it's happening. It's changing. That hurricane is a lot more powerful than it historically historically what Florida gets. Okay, things are going to continue to get worse, and yes, the water wars can hit the United States as well. Okay? There are people in the United States that are starving. Imagine it. In the United goddamn States, we got more restaurants than we have human beings. Right? And look at the stats. People going hungry in the United States. You don't think that we could, society, whole United States, it could never happen here. Never a water war. That's something for like brown people in a country I can't pronounce. Whatever. Back to Kardashians. I don't mean to be so flippant, but people are very quick to, it's like, oh, well, that's debatable. Climate, I don't know if that's real now. That sounds expensive. They do that really quickly. They really do. And it's like, no, we're going to have to pay for this. This is something, it's going to come out of our goddamn pocket. This is the check the fucking boomers and the greatest generation and the generation before them. This is the check they fucking wrote out. And now it's getting cashed. Welcome to the reality of the situation. There's no running from it. There's no canceling the weather. You can't fucking hashtag the weather away. Okay. This is a real problem we're going to have to deal with, lefties. And, lefties are more on top of it than the righties, but where's the organization, right? We got the Extinction Rebellion, and that's a great project. But how come there isn't, 50 million people in the Extinction Rebellion right now? Let's make it happen, America.
I want to actually take a quick moment to share with you what someone had to say on this issue of Pakistan's role versus richer nations and their role in tackling these issues and the road to recovery. So take a listen to what Rachel Cletus had to say.
Rachel Cletus.
A recent scientific study shows that climate change increased the likelihood of the...
Gotta say, I was not expecting... I heard Cletus from Massachusetts. I gotta admit, not expecting... Anyway.
This man-made disaster. In some of the worst affected provinces, the 5-day maximum rainfall intensity was increased by as much as 75% because of climate change.
Jesus.
In a warming climate, the warmer air can hold more water, and that water comes down in the form of these extreme rainfall events. In Pakistan, an additional risk factor is melting glaciers, also caused by warming temperatures. The sad fact is Pakistan is responsible for less than 1% of the emissions that are fueling climate change, and yet is bearing the cruel brunt of its effects. It's time for richer nations to pay up for the climate loss and damage that low-income climate vulnerable countries like Pakistan are experiencing.
Basav, what are your thoughts on what Rachel just outlined there and what we heard from Neha?
She is absolutely right. And what's more, the degree of responsibility of the global north goes even beyond what we heard in the clip from Rachel. It's not just that.
And once again, there's this, and I agree, there's a focus on the West. These things should be focused on. But
the recent flood.
God damn it, God damn it. Like, can we, I don't know. Can we be a little bit more fair and balanced, TM, here, and talk about a million farm animals died? What was the plan on that one? Did you just had no plan? Okay, when was the last time Pakistan had a major flood? Okay, what's the history of Pakistan floods? I feel like this just happened. I feel like this happened just recently. We just had another one. List of floods in Pakistan. Yeah, 2019. 2019. And then there was another in 2020. Karachi received heavy rain. In 2021, the Islamabad flooding. We got 33 million people displaced. We got 1 million farm animals dead. What was the plan? What was the plan after 2019? Jack, fuck all. What was the plan after 2020? Jack, fuck all. What was the plan after 2021? You got it, Jack, and fuck all. And I get it. The West absolutely has a fucking role to play in this, but goddamn. 2010. It could literally be an image from today. Where's the planning? Where's the prep? No plan for 1 million. No plan for 1 million farm animals dead. Just oh, we're fucked. Come, West, save us. Okay, West, save us now. And it's we have to save them. We should save them. We're obligated to. But that's not a plan. That's not a fucking plan. That's not a goddamn strategy. That's not a, prepping for the future. That's asinine. These people are supposed to be leaders. So I would really wish to talk. I want to talk a little bit more about the failure of the Pakistani government to provide this, because all this person wants to talk about is the failure of the West to provide support, which is absolutely true. But don't tell me Pakistan didn't have millions of dollars flowing through it since 2019, since 2010, since, these floods are going to keep happening. They're going to keep getting worse. What's the plan? Am I crazy? I feel like I'm crazy. Welcome back, Swillix. We're doing a YouTube video right now. I was trying to stay focused on the Pakistan situation and the floods. And we just got done watching, about half of a Al Jazeera video here. But man, I just tell you, it's just like, I'm just frustrated at the Pakistani government. These floods keep happening and it's just devastating. And it's like, oh, bail us out. Give us all these billions of dollars. Yeah, like we did last year and the year before that and the year before that. What's the plan? I guess I'm the privileged one because I'm asking. I guess I'm privileged. My dad and brother, Jesus, we got more family members in Florida. I hope they're doing okay. Davey also had some family members. Let us know, Swillix. Let us know the latest status. A little bit more from Pakistan here.
Record deadly flooding this spring and summer continues to affect millions of people. Unprecedented monsoon rains this year have killed about 1,600 and injured some 13,000. Many experts attribute this disaster to climate change. Food insecurity and disease are huge concerns right now. Survivors are making it clear that more help is needed from the international community. Now, CBC News has a team now in Pakistan. Margaret Evans, our reporter, and she has this latest story.
We're standing on a levee right next to Lake Manchar, and it's a good place to explain at least part of what's going on in this part of Sindh province. When the flooding began, the lake came very close to flooding its banks, coming up over the top here. And when that happened, officials knew that they were in trouble, so they cut this levee, which is about 60 kilometers long, in 3 different places to try to control the water. But it didn't stop the flooding and the devastation to come, because if you look out onto the other side of it, you'll see a valley that used to be lush.
What the fuck?
Farmland. People grew cotton here, they grew wheat, and now it's completely submerged in water. We've been touring the area a little bit by boat, talking to some people who are still living or staying on their rooftops, if those rooftops exist, and there aren't very many. Ask them why they're still there, because they don't have clean drinking water. It's impossible, very difficult to get supplies in or out. They say they're afraid of looting, that what they have salvaged, they've managed to get up onto these high areas. They don't have a plan. They say the government isn't giving them enough help. They can get into the nearest city for about $1 or $2 if they happen to find a boat going along. So it gives you a very clear idea of just how devastating these floods have been, how difficult it is to help people in need. Margaret Evans, CBC News, Sindh Province.
And this is how every news clip just ends, with just like, wow, it's so bad. Okay, I'm moving on now. Until the next flood comes along. All right, I think we're... Sorry about that. Oh, this is an interesting story out of Florida here. So let's get one more update out of Florida, then we'll do one more Pakistan video. And that'll be the update for the night on weather. Obviously, I could go on and on and on. I've ranted plenty already. But, folks, we got to do something about climate change, okay? Join the Extinction Rebellion. You're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm so busy. Join the Extinction Rebellion, right? Call somebody from the Extinction Rebellion. Trust me on this one. Call someone up. Hey, Extinction Rebellion. I don't have a lot of time. I got like an hour a month. What can I do for you for an hour a month? Hey, person that wants to do makes the world a better place. We absolutely come on in on Saturday at this date, and we're gonna do some phone baking. You can do it for an hour and then take off and do shopping and pick up the kids. Hey, that's great. Let me tell you something. It is that fucking easy. Period. To be a political activist. You don't need a fucking cert. You don't need training. You just need a fucking heart. And you just got to show up. It is that easy. And I'm not fucking with you. You could be changing the world tonight.
We go to air right now. There's a devastating weather emergency which is unfolding in America. Just look at that. Hurricane Ian is a powerful Category 4 storm and it's made landfall in Florida. Now, millions of people are without power. Homes have been ripped from the ground and sent floating. They're live pictures that you're looking at right now. This is said to be the strongest storm on record for this area ever. It's expected to lead to life-threatening floods as well. Now, this is in a hurricane-prone area. However, it's very uncommon in this area to see anything above a Category 3, so this is highly unusual.
And authorities. This bridge looks like it's going to fucking snap in two. Is that just me?
Warning residents to evacuate now. Let's get the very latest from our man on the ground.
The fuck is this? Who died? What's this about? Is this some kind of disease that only hits people in Australia?
Tim Lester, who is there. Tim, it's expected to be one of the worst storms the region has ever seen.
Or is this New Zealand?
Morning, Koshi. Yes, indeed. In fact, one researcher...
They flew his ass to Florida so he could stand in the fucking rain. God, I love the news.
Just says there have only been 4 stronger storms ever make it ashore in the United States since storms have been recorded. They measured wind speeds in Hurricane Ian overnight at 250 kilometres an hour. Now, their great worry is storm surge. That is where the winds pick up shallow waters next to the coast and bring ashore a wall of water. Now, they were estimating a storm surge of up to 5.5 metres. Think about that. That's a 2-storey building. We are 3 kilometres back from the actual coastline, but the coastline's come to us in the last half hour. Behind me, this is the road out of this service station. Now, we've seen people walking waist deep through that already, and it's creeping up. And if you turn around, exactly the same kind of river is across the other edge of the service station and out the back. You can also see fronds broken from trees and the Glad wrap-like material they're wrapping around the petrol pumps here, hoping that they can protect them. Hundreds of thousands without power already in Florida an hour or so before the storm crossed. Koshi, we believe the eye of the storm has crossed roughly in the last half hour. But nobody knows how quickly these move. It's likely, they believe.
Why is power still on? I guess, yeah, you want power on. Yeah, okay. That'd cause more panic to turn it off early.
To take hours, perhaps days, as this storm sweeps right across Florida, and only then can they begin to count the damage.
A hurricane is to Americans what cyclones are to Australians, isn't it? But this one is as big as...
Oh, get your kids out of that water, folks. That is not clean water, okay? We're talking sewage. We're talking garbage. Nasty, nasty water, flood, hurricane water. You don't want to be in it. Certainly don't want to be drinking it.
Florida, that is massive.
Keep going. Keep going.
Are you okay?
Yes. It's an enormous storm. Yeah, no, fine. We're just helping some people through the water here. That's our camera operator, Glenn Ellis, out there. I think you can see.
Yeah. Quite frankly, I think that was a little unnecessary, but a little sensational. It's a little sensationalist, isn't it? I'll be a yacht in Florida. What are you going to pick up chicks while you're rescuing them off roofs? You're like, yes, my time to shine is now. Unsatiable, everybody. By the way, YouTube. Say hi to Unsatiable. our resident neckbeard. He wants to fuck bitches and make money over here. And it sounds like he has a plan to rescue people all maritime law, and he's obsessed with maritime law. So that's the plan, huh? You're gonna rescue women off the roofs of their homes, and then they'll just it's like the Sunny it's Sunny in Philadelphia show, right? The Implication. Is that what it is? It's going to be the implication. You're like, oh, you're trapped on this boat with me. I guess I can just hit on you mercilessly. I'm sure that happens too. Poor women. They don't get a break, man. They're getting rescued off a roof and then they're getting hit on. You know what happens. Hell, I remember in Katrina, I heard of rapes, rooftop rapes. Yeah, the implications after being saved by a stranger on a strange boat. Unsatiable, everybody. YouTube, there you go. That's your daily dose of unsatiable. Let's get back to this. We're almost done, YouTube.
Trying to help people who are wading away from their homes. We've spoken to a couple of them, and they tell us already that their houses have been lost in the water.
Okay. I'm not really gonna show any more of this. This is embarrassing. Look, nice guy. Okay, they didn't need it. They didn't need the help. They were just fine. You're probably getting in their way more than anything. You're doing it just for TV. Yeah, I can't show this. This is just more crying dead babies. It's happening, folks. We need to help Pakistan. But honestly, we need to start pressuring Pakistan to come up with a real plan. And if you want to know more about the dying dead children in Pakistan, there's your link. To hear about the welfare fraud. We're not talking about that right now. Unsatiable. We're talking about
ill-defined
weather.
Horizon of a drowned world, still struggling to surface. On its edges, in the city of Sehwan, there is what passes for safety. You can at least still see and feel the ground beneath your feet. But the rhythms of daily life are already much altered. This road is now a harbor and a lifeline. For those still living on rooftops or patches of high ground, popping up like desert islands. Mohammed Qasim, his brother, sons, and nephews are living on top of the collapsed mud houses they once called home. They won't abandon what they've managed to save. Where could we take all of our stuff, asks Qasim. Thieves would come and steal everything.
Where the hell is the government? Have they heard a peep from the fucking government? No, they're busy begging, the West for billions of dollars that they can't wait to siphon off millions of. Oh, good, we can steal some more money. What a great excuse for us to get more money from the West, and we can steal it. Sick of this. This corruption. This intense corruption. Can we sit here and honestly say the Pakistani government cares about its people? Are we going to sit here with a straight face and say that? Obviously, the West and the rest of the world doesn't care about Pakistan, but are we going to sit here and say that their own government cares? I don't even think they care about their own people. What is this? Stranded on islands? Stuff's going to get looted? You got no fucking plan, do you? The Middle East hates us. The Middle East has a very good reason to hate us. Maybe we should give the Middle East a reason not to hate us. And encourage, democracy and actually, build real sustainable solutions. And encouraging the Pakistani government to do the right thing.
If we left it. The women have been sent to dry ground, and the men are fending for themselves.
Yeah. He's boiling water because they need to survive.
Drinking water, they say, comes from the water surrounding their perch. Nobody is helping us, he says. Nobody. This area sits adjacent to one of Pakistan's largest lakes. When heavy rains threaten to burst its banks, local official Ali Asghar says they cut into the levee in the hopes of directing the water.
District administration have given them warning 3 days before, or otherwise if you are here, it is up to you.
The city was more or less spared, but not the farmland around it. Butara, which looks like an island behind me, is one of the only villages that we've come across still above the water line. What that means is it's like a beacon for all those villages that are actually underwater.
This shit legitimately looks like the terrible movie Waterworld, Kevin Costner.
And lots of people have come here seeking refuge.
It's an added burden on those already here. These homes are not ours, admits Shazadi Rind, a mother of 4. We're here because of the flood. We lost everything, including cattle. Nearly 1 million livestock lost to floodwaters in Pakistan as a whole, and more than 7 million people displaced by them.
This is the biggest disaster Pakistan has ever faced. So we appeal the international community and international people to help these people.
Up on the ruins of his former life, Mohammed Qasim says he has no plan but to wait for the waters to recede. We are waiting for the blessing of God, he says. We're very poor. We have nothing. His dignity, though, remains intact. Margaret Evans, CBC News, in Sindh province.
What a great way to end that piece. What a great way to end that piece. I really enjoyed that. That was a really good piece of news there. Well written. Well written, for sure. Well, there you go, YouTube. You know, like and subscribe, all that stuff, you know, on the YouTube channel. Don't forget, we're streaming on Twitch. Come on over, Abandoned Nihilism on Twitch. You'll see it at the end here, the Twitch link, and I'll put it in the description of the video. Look, you know, I'm just going to repeat what I said during the stream, during the clip here. The West has a part to play in this. Turn this music down a touch. The West has a part to play in this. Let's keep it real, okay? The fact of the matter is, though, is that this is going to continue to get worse. These are not one-off things. The patterning is going to continue, and the Pakistani government needs to have plans in place. And the West, you know, it needs to be sustained support with real planning, You know, we're building, you know, you can't build homes here anymore. You can't build farms here anymore. Or if you do, we're going to build a wall, and here's the plan. And, you know, we're going to send the, you know, the Army engineers to, you know, build a bunch of dams and build them correctly so that they don't crumble at the first sight of pressure. All these things. We need sustainable solutions, or we just let these people die. We just let these people die. And it just continues to get worse and worse and worse. And to the people saying, oh, well, Pakistan needs to get their shit together and, you know, elect a government that doesn't just steal for them and let them drown to death. And to them, I would say, you're right. What else can I say? You know, that is glaringly obvious that the Pakistani government is either incapable or unwilling to help the Pakistani people in the worst of crisis, the poorest of people. Just, you know, reminds me of Katrina. Unsatiable over here. Unsatiable just proposed maybe taxing Vosh and Destiny. No, we should tax Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. If we're going to tax anybody. But anyway, YouTube, thank you for being here. This has been Abandoned Nihilism. And this is the News Underground. And we're going to be seeing you again real soon. More of that YouTube content to come. Like and subscribe. And check out the streams on Twitch. Saturday's the big one. But we do them, trying to do them as often as I can. So, thank you for being here, YouTube.
Some legit